In this video, we are going to be looking at the SQL basics as far as joins, and this one is going to be looking at right joins. In the previous week, we looked at left joins. Now we're going to be taking a look at right joins and where we may use these. So this is our basic table structure that we're using for these simple joins, and that makes it easy and intuitive for us to understand what's going to come back and why that is. So the first example we have here is a right join with some matches. And what I've done to make this straightforward, because we're looking at the right join, the last time we're looking at the left join, and we have to remember that the default table, or the first table I should say, in a left join is the left table. Now we're looking at the right table. And so it might be a little bit counterintuitive. So what I've done is placed left IDs and right IDs. So T1 here is left IDs and T2 here is right IDs. So we see that we're selecting these from table 1. That's T1 here. This would be our left table. We're right joining table 2. We see T2, and this is on T1 ID.T2 ID. And what we see is all of the right IDs come back because this is a right join. That's the opposite of a left join. So this right table here, all of the information is going to come back. And what's going to come back on the left table is going to be the IDs that match. And we remember, of course, if we look at our data, that the right table and the left table match with when it comes to 3 and 4. Okay, so what that means, and again, if we go back to this example here, is if we were to do a right join on letters instead of IDs, what's going to happen is nothing is going to come back from the left table, and all of the letters are going to come back from the right table. And that is precisely what we see. Another example that I did not do last week with the left join, but it's worth doing here for the right join. This applies to the left join as well, and that is if we were to add two criteria, which is ID and letter, we'll see, of course, that nothing is going to come back because we're joining on the condition of where the IDs match and the letters match. And again, if we go back to our data here, we realize that there's no condition where that's true. While the IDs do match, the letters don't match, right? And so we're looking where both of those are true. And then finally, when we look at right join as a filter, and this is where it is commonly used as well, we see that just like with the left join, where we're using it as a filter, we can also use the right join as a filter. And that is, we can, of course, right join here this table 2 on table 1 on the IDs. And what we're looking here is where T1 ID is not null. So where we're looking for this is where these left IDs here are not null. And again, we know that there's 3 and there's 4 that are in both tables. And so those are going to be the records that come back. And again, if we had added, let's say, letters to this, nothing would come back, right? So depending on our criteria, that will determine what comes back.